Hello, I'm Jennifer Witt, Director of ProjectManager.com. Well, welcome to our whiteboard session today on 5 things you need to do as a PM to keep learning. Well, if you're watching this video, number 1, you're willing, so thank you for joining us. So there is so much as a project manager to know, not only things going on in our industry, but the world and the economy and in our organization and with people and ourselves. There's so much. Where do we even start? Well, here are 5 things that I think I've found helpful. Number 1 is to prepare yourself. I find it's in order to ready, set, go, you need to be open to learn. Be willing to say, hey, I don't know it all. If you can get past that step, then you're in the right direction. Also, be willing to ask questions. Like, I have 2 little nieces, and one thing that I learned is they constantly ask questions. And they are always asking, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? So if we're willing to step back and ask questions, like someone younger back in the day, then I think that's helpful for us to discover new things we haven't considered before. Number 2, assume responsibility. Some people in some organizations I've seen are always expecting their company to keep them up to date. Well, it's not going to happen, so I feel it's important for you to take responsibility for not only yourself, but also your career, and see yourself as an asset. So we find time in investing in our portfolio, our financial, our retirement, our family, and other things with the exception of ourselves. So if we look at ourselves as our greatest asset, then we're going to make great strides to start looking at things differently. Also, your value and your demand. The more you improve your learning, the more you know, then the demand for you is going to increase. The more skills you have, the expertise, experience, knowledge, value, actually drives the demand for you upwards. So people are going to want the value that you bring and the information that you have. So the demand for you goes up for other opportunities. Number 3 is to schedule time and allocate budget. You actually have to invest in yourself. Number 1, just allocating time. You are your most important project. So you have to schedule time in your day, in your week, in your year. So I begin my year by scheduling out, when am I going to allocate time for me to learn? Is it going to be on weekends? Is it going to be after hours? Am I going to take vacation? Is it going to be weekends? You have to set your schedule, and I actually put that on my calendar. I block time out, and then I allocate budget. Again, we allocate budget for the kids to go to school, for their school supplies, maybe their school clothes, your food and everything like that. But a lot of times I find that people don't allocate budget for their training and their learning. People tend to think that everything's free, all the learning is free. There is a ton of free information out on the internet, but not everything is free. There may be special programs that you need to learn in order to, again, gain value and position yourself, maybe learn things you don't know. So sometimes you have to pay for that, and so you have to put that in your budget. Not all training is free. And then we have to monitor the trends and see where is everything going and where am I? So look at, there are trends that are going on in the world, what's happening in the economy, what's happening in your profession, how is it changing, are the standards increasing, are new opportunities coming up, new certifications, and then look at yourself. What are the trends in yourself? What do you want to do? What have you done in the past? Kind of been there, done that. And where do you want to go? I find that you have to release the past. My friends kid me about my stories of back in the day. I can tell stories of back in the day when things were different or we did things a certain way. And sometimes we have to release and let that go and say that, you know, things aren't going to come back. They're actually changing for the better. How do we position ourselves? Where are we in relation to that? And where do we want to go? There are things that I've done in my past that I've been there, done that, and I don't necessarily want to do that anymore. So I have to learn, continue learning, maybe new things, or maybe a new career, a new position that I want. Number 5 is leveraging technology. So we subscribe to going social, getting mobile, going global. I mean, our teams are global, so we have to learn, how do people in different parts of the world do things? What are their standards? what are their interests, and how do they go about their day-to-day. And then again, social. There's Google, Pinterest now, Facebook, LinkedIn, all types of resources that we have available for us today to find the free information or find opportunities or find groups that we can get into. There are online groups, online social media groups that we can go into, and we can collaborate and we can meet people. I've met people all over the world by joining some of the social groups and getting mobile. This is, I say, my iPhone is my greatest companion, and I can look up things when I'm traveling. I may be on a MARTA train or on a plane or even sometimes in a meeting, and I can Google things and look things up if I want to know. If someone mentions a term or concept that I don't understand, it's easy to find. So these are things I think that are very helpful to do as a project manager in order to learn and keep up to date with all the things we need to as a project manager. If you're looking for a tool to help you manage your project, which is you, or better yet, help you learn, then sign up for our software at projectmanager.com.